Hello champions and future champions, hello Chessmood family, Gabuzyan is here with you and we're beginning with our daily lesson. Today we're going to continue the topic of the paralyzing pawn and we'll see some examples when we are going to sacrifice the pawns on e6 and d6 squares in order to paralyze our opponent pieces. There is an opening variation happening in Caro-Kann after e4, c6 d4, d5 e5, bishop f5 h4, h6 g4, and after bishop h7, white is making the paralyzing e6 move. The idea is that after takes, even though we sacrificed a pawn, now this bishop is going to be too late in development. These pawns are preventing it from going into the game. So this is the opening idea, and here white also goes bishop d3, exchanging this bishop off, making another value of the absence of pawn on f7. Now this square on g6 will be weakened. Takes. Black can try to go knight f6, but we are going here knight f3, just going for e5 square, and using the fact black cannot be taking on g4 since we have queen g6 check. It's very much similar if here after queen d3, black goes king f7, we again go knight f3, knight d7 bishop f4, and after knight gf6, just h5, again using the fact black cannot be taking because of this check. And otherwise here white has just a very nice compensation for the paralyzing pawn sacrifice on e6 square, guys. Let's now go ahead to see our next example. At this moment in the opening it's black to move. Here black decided to go to g6 square, and you can pause the video, guys, to think how we're going to play here for white. If now you are deciding to take on c4, black just plays e6 with regular middle game positions, nothing special. But after bishop g6, if you decided to go to e6, I'm just proud of you, since this is a very good move. After takes and bishop c4, now this kingside is absolutely paralyzed, bishop cannot be developed. Bishop f7, knight e5, we also have this monster outpost, and after knight d7, takes and knight e4, whites just have a winning position already. This pawn is too weak, this bishop is out of the game, and as well king is now in the center. With this e6 paralyzing move, we're destroying this side of the board, creating a weak square here for our knight, and preventing opponent's pieces development. I think it's much more important than the pawn on e5 square. So let's now go ahead to see our next example, guys. This time, in this position is black to move. We have some chances to get a paralyzing pawn sacrifice idea. So you can pause it, guys, and try to find it. If you are going now e4 right away, it's a mistake, since white can be now taking on f6. Of course, if you take on f3, bishop c3 is a big advantage for white due to a bad pawn structure. So after bishop f6 we have to take, but now white goes knight to h4. And we are getting very bad pawns in the center and at the side of the board, so this is not so good. Even if we go e3, white will be able to take, later on play g3, bishop g2, try to go for the short side castle. So, before going the e4 move, we are getting rid of this threat, playing g5. And now only after bishop g3, going e4, knight g1 and e3. Pay attention, now white pieces are much more passive and we're not having any other pawn weaknesses. After f takes e3, black just goes bishop c5 with an intention to capture on e3 square, bishop f2 and knight g4. Black is just slowly increasing the pressure. After knight h3, black has a big choice. We can be castling and leaving white with these very bad pieces undeveloped kingside. Black after knight h3 move can be taking on e3 with the bishop, which is also great. In the game, it has happened knight takes f2, which is also working out. Of course, if king takes, it's gonna be a very bad position for the king. We can also try to play something like knight e5, bringing this knight to g4 square. And if after knight takes f2, white takes with a knight, we just take on e3. Again, this paralyzing pawn made a lot of sense, bishop is not developed yet, and we managed to get outstanding positions in the center and on the king side. So, black has a big advantage. Let's now go ahead, guys, to see our last example in this topic. Now, this time it's white to move. You can pause the video and try to think what are I going to do in this position. Of course, you are guessing that the move is d6. If black takes with a pawn, we just go bishop d5, knight goes to c4, meanwhile this pure bishop on c8 is absolutely dead. After d6, in this game black tried to take with a queen, but we are doing actually the same, guys. Just takes and bishop d5. Knight c6 and knight d2. There is only one difference now, that there is no queen on e7 square, so black is trying to defend with knight e7 move, but white just ignores this and going knight to c4. This time, knight is paralyzing the queenside b6 advancement, so whenever black takes, as it happened, we're not taking on d6, but just taking on d5. We need these pawns to be alive, and if we take them in future, black may be able to play d6 later on and develop this bishop. So here white is having just a winning advantage. After f5, white can be playing with bishop e3, white can now take on d6 since this knight will be staying very well, but the best move I think as played in the game was b3, which I personally like a lot. Bishop just goes to a3 and only then white will be able to take on d6 and get a monster knight protected by the bishop. So with the outstanding d6 move, white is absolutely paralyzing black's queenside. I hope you liked this topic, guys, and let's now go ahead to the next position, which will be your homework for this one. Here, it's black to move. You can be sharing your thoughts and ideas how to paralyze white's position in the comments section below. GM Gabuzyan was here with you. Thank you for your subscriptions, likes, and sharing this video with your friends. We appreciate it a lot. See you next time during our next daily lessons.